biodegradable man. Now you've said, I understand, Peter, I really do why you want to be able to have your own views and be an individual and have your own, but you have to relent at one point like physics. See, this is why we're having the psychological version of the conversation. Because I don't argue that you can believe whatever you like. I have been telling you and everybody via this channel a very different picture. See, I think that if your beliefs um, don't like survive justification by material perceptions, perceptions which can be checked and consistent, and adhere to physics. If your philosophy doesn't adhere to physics, then your philosophy is wrong and you need to do better. Okay? So how's that what you've been saying? Right? I believe in the compelling points from natural philosophy. I actually know them and I adhere to them. And that's what you don't get is that those physical realities now are relativistic. Okay, that's why we need a relativistic explanation, for example, about why we care about someone else's suffering. It has to be tangible. I believe in a tangible philosophy. So what are you not getting about this? And then you say, "Oh, we are not having an argument where I'm defending having whatever philosophy that you want, and it doesn't have to adhere to physics. And you don't even seem to know physics, right? You have no clue. You're telling me that, well, you have to adhere to the physics. You're not getting it. Physics is relativistic. I am adhering to physics. That's why I have this philosophy. You think it's fanciful, but in reality, you're just several centuries out of date with physics. It's not fanciful. Sorry, truth turned out to be stranger than fiction, and so you think I'm making up a fiction, but you just can't comprehend the truth. You think you're being Mr. Tough about face the truth. Yeah, I face the truth, and there's more than the one truth that things are fucked up. There's more to it than that. You know, there's a lot of truths out there that you have not faced. There's certainly a huge body of truths from the physical sciences that you have absolutely no clue about. But that's okay. I don't mind people don't have a clue about the physical sciences. That's one of the things we can talk about. If I have a hobby and studied one set of facts, you've had a different one, we could bring those together. The problem is you refuse to acknowledge who you're talking to or what I am arguing, what I'm arguing for. You actually think, "Oh, suffering child. Pyrrha doesn't think that's bad. That's one of the things I hold against him." What? No. We both think that's bad, and we explain why it's bad differently. You, not at all, actually. You don't really explain why it's bad. But presumably there could be some explanation that you would have or someone could attribute to you or pretend that you cared about. You object to my explanation of it. Not the conclusion, because I too think that it's bad when a kid is suffering in the hospital. I also think it's great when they get cured and get out of the hospital and have an ordinary childhood afterwards. You think life still sucks then. So where's your compassion? You think you can have compassion for someone's misery and not have a sentiment for their joy? You can get all sad because they're sick, but if they get happy, you can't be happy for them. You can't share that. You can only share in misery. Okay. Hey, if that's what your church says makes you the best person out there, then according to your church, you're the best person out there. But when you argue with people, you need to know what their opinions are. You need to be arguing with their opinions. You have no idea what my opinions are. You've projected so strongly what you expect to see, and then you argue with that. And you're not arguing with me, right? I don't say that suffering is not a bad thing. I say that we are in the subjective universe. I'm saying I don't need objectivity to know it's a bad thing. I can subjectively tell that it's a bad thing. I can immediately tell just from gut instinct. But I can also use my intellect to find out why it's bad through my relationship to this creature, to all living creatures. And I can intellectually trace why it's bad. And I can do it all with subjective information. I don't need God to come and say, it is bad, Piero. You know, I don't need a metaphysics to come and say, it really is bad. I can trace why I think it's bad on on chemical grounds, you know, based on the DNA and our connections, and why we uh, share common concern for one another as familial things throughout the entire biology of living things on life, which they just confirmed again, they think comes from a common single ancestor. So just argue with what the views I actually have. They're really fairly straightforward once you know what they are. And there's a sort of a practical element to them where even if they're not your cup of tea, you don't have to have this kind of reaction that you've had, calling me insensitive. You know, fuck you. I'm very sensitive. I'm too sensitive. Okay, and I have worked in this world to act on my sensitivities. So you're on your high horse. Who the fuck are you? Are you Mother Teresa or something? What the hell have you done to prove that you can talk down to me about sensitivity? I'll bet you've done shit all.